You'd expect that you'd be over the moon and elated, running around, telling the world you've been cured of cancer, you know?
Yeah, and that's what made me more depressed, is that I felt like I was really ungrateful, and I was like, come on, just feel okay. What's wrong with you? I was at college training to be a primary school teacher, and felt it is in my testicle, so testicular cancer. Yeah, it's quite a shock.
Unbelievable. You know, I had exactly that same thing, pain in my testicle. What, did the pain get too much? Or
Pain got too much, yeah. It just was like affecting everyday kind of life. Got a call the last day of my college course to hand in all my work, saying I needed to come like immediately. Thought it's just a checkup, and then like just started scanning. 10 seconds after, he was just like, "Yep, that's a tumour, and it needs to be removed on Monday."
Went to the GP, and I remember she was feeling, and she felt the first one and went fine. She felt the second one, and straight away said to me, "I think you need a scan." She said, "Oh, the doctor will be here in a minute to do the ultrasound." And while she left me, I opened a bit of paper, and the GP had written. She hadn't told me this. She'd written, 38-year-old male, testicular cancer pain. Suspected testicular cancer, and I was expecting to get the worst news. The guy then looks at it, and it was like a bit of calcium floating around, and that's what the doctor could feel. But like I didn't even get a diagnosis, and for about a minute, my world, it was a worst case scenario. So I can't imagine what it's like when they say those words.
I just was in shock. I couldn't really think, and even now, it kind of is still like
surreal. What was the worst point?
Probably when I found out that the chemo didn't work as well as they wanted. I finished chemo at a perfect time, because then the next year rolled round and it was like great.
Yeah.
And I hit the gym big time. Had a lot of chemo inside me, so going to the gym was good. I was kind of sweating all that out. And then a scan came back, and then they said I need to have quite a major operation. So that kind of attacked everywhere, and lots of my lymph nodes were affected by it. Right. They removed all those. It took ages to recover, and to try and walk again and stuff like that. It really was quite a shock to the system. I felt like I was always behind, and that's why I thought it was too late to go to uni and things like that. I kind of felt like I missed the boat quite a bit, but I just found other things to do, and just got really depressed for about 2.5 years.
How deep was the depression?
Quite. I always kind of just hold things aside, really. But yeah, it was pretty bad. If I admit, it was really bad. I eventually got through it. I think it's been a year now where I've just been like really happy.
What lifted that gloom?
Kind of switched it around, and I thought, even if I am doing nothing and just listening to music on a day or just walking about, because I always felt like I should be doing something every day and being so grateful for the opportunity I've been given. But then I thought it's just a bonus I'm here anyway. You know, a few years ago I wouldn't have been.
What about the role that CLIC Sargent specifically played?
A huge role, yeah. Really? They started me off. I went to this CLIC Sargent music program for a week, and which was probably one of the best experiences I've ever done in my life. Like, it was just music all week. Loved it. Had such a blast, and music's like my great healer as well, and they know that, and that's why they kind of get me involved in all that.
If you could give the Harry that's either just been diagnosed or the Harry that's in the midst of treatment or is in the midst of that depression, one message, what would it be? Because there will be people watching this now who feel exactly like you have felt. What would you say? It's kind of okay to be in shock. Go with the flow. You're in safe hands. You'll get through it. Basically, if I was just talk to myself, just say, when you get to the end, it's going to be so much better. And I'm kind of, in a way, glad it happened, because it's just, life's been amazing since, really. Really?
Yeah, loved it.
Brilliant. Good to hear. Well done, mate.